committee would keep them secret. Well, the Labour MP Stephen Kinnock is a member of the Brexit Committee and he joins me now. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Stephen Kinnock, you've been given the information. What's the problem?
Well, the deal was that the government would give all of the information unredacted to the committee and it would make recommendations to us as to which bits should be redacted. We would come back to them on that and an agreement would be reached about what should or shouldn't be redacted. And unfortunately, in the letter that David Davis has written today, I mean, I'm very sorry to use this term, but he's simply not telling the truth. He implies in the letter that he hasn't received assurances that we would be treating the sensitive information correctly, and that is simply not true. There have been an exchange of letters between Hilary Benn and David Davis. There were subsequent meetings. Hilary Benn reported back to the committee on that. So David Davis needs to apologise for that, withdraw this ridiculous letter and give us the information that we were promised.
But on the other hand, I think you've been handed some 850 odd pages of material. How do you know what you've got? You can't possibly have had time to read it all.
No, we haven't seen it because it's been handed to the committee clerks. But the point is that in the letter, David Davis makes clear that the government has taken an executive decision to redact the information that they don't think we should see. And that was never the deal. The deal was we would have all of the information and we would negotiate with the government about what we could or couldn't see. Nobody wants to release information that would damage our interest in terms of the negotiations or that's commercially sensitive from some of the companies that contributed to these studies. The point is the government's got to stop treating us like children and stop treating the British people like children. We need to see this information and we can then decide, because the problem is the government's executive decision on redacting, I suspect they've just redacted the bits that may be politically inconvenient.
Well, you can't know that because, as you suggest, you haven't seen the information. But is it all a bit of a storm in a filing cabinet? Because in a sense, there would be those who would argue that these aren't even complete documents. They're just bits of information that have been collated. Is it even certain that they're that important or that significant?
I think there's a very important point of principle here, which there was a unanimous resolution of Parliament. We had an Opposition Day debate. The government whips decided not to whip their side at all. So we had unanimous passing of a resolution instructing the government to make these documents fully available to the Brexit Select Committee. Their failure to do so means, I'm afraid, that David Davis is in contempt of Parliament.
So as far as you're concerned, what happens next?
The Brexit Committee will meet tomorrow morning. I'm sure that Hilary Benn, our chair, will be proposing a way for the Brexit Committee to set the record straight and to instruct the government to start delivering on the promises, which, well, in fact, it's not a promise, it's an instruction from Parliament. If the Brexit referendum was about taking back control for Parliament, then surely this is an opportunity for the government to show that they're not just becoming sort of government by diktat. They're listening to Parliament, engaging Parliament, and that's a vitally important part of our democracy. So I think there's a very important point of principle at stake on this issue. Stephen
Kinnock, thank you very much.